What is immutability for JavaScript primitive values? Have you ever wondered what happens to a value in JavaScript once it is created? Today, we are going to talk about immutability for JavaScript primitive values. This concept is essential for understanding how data works in your code. In JavaScript, when we talk about primitive values, we refer to data types like string, number, boolean, null, undefined, symbol, and bigint. The key point here is that once a primitive value is created, it cannot be changed or altered. This means that if you create a string with the value hello, that exact string cannot be modified. Now you might think that if you want to change hello to hello world, you are modifying the original string. However, that is not the case. When you perform an operation that seems to change the string, JavaScript actually creates a new string value. The original string hello remains unchanged. This behavior is consistent across all primitive types. It is important to note that while the primitive value itself is immutable, the variable that holds it can be reassigned. For example, if you have a variable that holds the string hello, you can later assign it a new value like goodbye. The original string hello stays the same, but the variable now points to a different string. Understanding immutability helps clarify how you work with variables and values in JavaScript. When you manipulate strings or numbers, you are not changing the original value. Instead, you are creating new values. This is different from objects and arrays, which can be changed after they are created. JavaScript also has a feature called auto-boxing. This means that when you access properties or methods on primitive values, JavaScript temporarily wraps them in corresponding object wrappers, like string or number objects. This allows you to call methods on them, but it does not change the immutability of the original primitive value. To sum it up, immutability for JavaScript primitive values means that once a primitive value is created, it cannot be changed. Variables can be reassigned to new primitive values, but the original values remains intact. Operations that seem to modify a primitive actually create new values. This behavior ensures that you can predict how basic data types will behave in your JavaScript programming. Understanding this concept is fundamental for mastering JavaScript variables and data types, and it helps you manage how data flows and changes in your code.